my beautiful people. I am back for book number 2 of She Gave Her All to the Hood's Finest. And we are picking up where we left off, where Shanice overhears Brielle telling Tony that she knows that no other girl can do him like she does. And Camarih, she immediately breaks up with him. She's like, I can't do this. I gotta worry about every chick you around you done something with. And she makes the horrible mistake of accusing him of doing something with Jilly. And he like chokes her up. But after that, you know, it's just over. And he immediately goes back to his old ways, you know. He calls a girl to the house that he has Camarih staying in after she refuses to have sex with him. He's like, you know, I'm not sleeping with you. And Camarih can hear. She hears him out in the living room and she starts to cry. And he hears her in the bedroom crying. So he goes into the bedroom, gives her head to put her to sleep, and then goes back into the living room to have sex with the girl. So the next morning, she comes out into the living room with one of his guns pointed at him and the girl. He takes the gun, you know, tells her, you know, put my gun back. You broke up with me, so don't worry about what I do and who I do it with. And so while he's at the studio, she goes out to find an apartment. And she calls him, and he's like, you know, what do you want? And, y'all, I am hot. Excuse me for a second. That is so ghetto, and I am so sorry. But, yeah, it's hot. I had to turn my fan off because I can hear it in the background. So that first video, all you hear is the fan. And you're probably going to hear my bracelets with me trying to fan myself. So it's a lose-lose situation. So yeah, she calls him like, you know, I need to get my bed out of your storage. I found an apartment and, you know, I'm going to move out. And he's like, no, you're not. And he shows up to the leasing office because he has a tracker on her car, and he tells the landlord, you know, rip up that application and rip up that check. And he takes her back home, and it's like, you know, you're not going nowhere. You're staying right here with me. Then Tony, he's at the studio, you know, they have people kicking it, and one of the girls that he was messing with before tells him, you know, you should hire my girl Nala. And Nala's a singer who auditions for him, and it's like he tells her she has potential, but immediately after the little quote-unquote audition, she's on her knees telling him that she knows him from around the way and she has always wanted to meet him. And he tells her, you know, like, know your place, don't make any trouble for me and my girl, you know, this is what it is, and if I want to do this again, you know, I'll hit you up. So we have Camarih, who's meeting up with Ruby at the mall, and a rapper by the name of Dime is like enthralled by her and immediately invites them to his birthday party, but more so Camarih than, you know, Ruby. But Ruby's there, so it's like, hey, you can come too. And she accepts. And while they're at the party, somehow Tony knows where she is, and he shows up and he shoots out the chandelier in Dime's section, and he like slaps him up. I'm like, I love books because there's no way you're just showing up to a club, shooting out the fixtures in the wall, and then like beating somebody up, and then two-stepping on your way out the door, and you done took somebody's bottle of liquor and you just walking out the door. But it's like, that's the great thing about books, because those type of things can happen. So where are we? So Brielle goes to her mom's house to see, you know, to check up on her mom, and of course Jilly's there, so she'll talk to Jilly too. And Jilly is upset about Tony once again beating up Vernon, but it's just like, your boyfriend can't stand up for himself and you really don't like him, so it's just like, what are you gonna do? At this point, you just ought to break up with the boy and spare his ligaments, because Tony gonna tear him off. And so Brielle is questioning her about Camarih, you know, like, what is our brother? Because Jilly doesn't know about their relationship. She just thinks it's all platonic between everybody, you know what I mean? And Jilly tells her about the double date. And this, of course, hurts her feelings. And she's just like, every good thing that Jilly has to say, she comes back with a negative comment. And it's just like, Tony calls her, and you know, he's like, come down to the studio and bring some food. And she's giddy because she thinks that they're gonna have some time together. But he tells her that she needs to go to Camarih's job and tell her that what they had was old. You know, there's nothing going on between them, and it was never during his time with her. You know, so basically making her help him get his girl back. Which she does. Like, she goes down there, she books a facial specifically with Camarih to tell her that it's all old. You know, she has nothing to worry about. But Camarih, like, basically pays her dust. And while she's leaving, she's, like, reaching up for something so Brielle can see that she's pregnant. And that breaks her heart even more. Because it's like, no way she's pregnant by my man. It's like, sorry, sweetie. Yes, she is. So where are we? So Shanice goes to get tested for any type of diseases. Um, um, Everything is negative. She gets jealous when she goes home and sees Paul's former nurse. Her name is Kiera. Like, she's there talking to him, and she like throws some little shade about Shanice always being at work and never having time for Paul. And Shanice, she tells Camarih about her sleeping with Raheem, and we have Tony going to Nala's house for sex. She has a son. He takes the son next door to the neighbor, gives the neighbor $5, like, watch him till I'm done. And in the mix of them having sex, her baby father / boyfriend comes home, but Tony makes him stand outside until he's done, like, drinking some water or something. Y'all, I'm gonna have to turn my fan back on this next episode, and we just gonna have to deal, honey, because it is hot. I did not know, because I got a little ring light, my new light. Hey, I didn't know it was this hot. It is hot. So let's see. Oh Lord, where am I? Oh, so later he goes out to the club, you know, with the crew, and Joy shows up, questioning him about Camarih. So it's like, he said Brielle and now Joy. And she brings up her 4 abortions. And it's just like, she tells him, I hope you know, no matter who the mother is, all your kids should be treated the same. And he came right back and told her they would have. The problem is you wanted the mamas to be treated the same, and that would never happen. Because, like I said before, it's like she thinks there's something more to their relationship. And it's like, it's not like that for Tony. Tony does not see her that way. He does not care. And it's just like, girl, you have this going on in your mind, and he's telling you what it is between you guys. And that's the thing. It's like, you should always listen to men's words. And she has it in her mind. She's like, you know, he's not like that when it's just us. But it's just like, you know, as a reader, you get the privy to the inside relationship. And it's like, girl, even when y'all alone, he don't treat you no better. You just have this thought of what you want him to be, and you want to be with him, so you're accepting whatever. Okay, so we have Camarih. She tries to move out again, and she actually gets the apartment. She goes back to the landlady, and she promises that Tony will not show up, and you know, she pays her the money, and she moves in. Not even later that night, when she calls herself trying to sleep, there's banging on the door. And Tony tells her, get all your stuff because you're coming right back home. She tries to refuse, and she had bought a little blow-up bed. He done shot out the blow-up bed. So it's like, now where you gonna sleep? Pack it up and let's go. And I'm sorry, that was so funny because in the book, it's like, it says pow, pow. And then I forgot to mention in the first review, Ruby invited them to a big showcase. Like, the name of his label is Making a Killing. So it's like the whole Making a Killing crew was invited to the showcase. And the night of, he asks Camarih, does she want to go? She refuses, thinking she's going to try to escape again. So when he's gone, she goes out to her car, and he's taking out the seats and sawed off her pedals. So I was like, she texts him like, why would you just my car? He tells her, stay your ass in the house. Don't worry about it. Just stay in the house. And she refuses. And so she goes to the party because Ruby calls her and begs her to come. It's like, you're a pretty girl and it would do good for people to see someone as attractive as you at the party. And so she agrees and she comes to the party. And when she gets there, she sees a girl twerking on Tony. So she goes up to him and is like beating up on him. And is like, and you wonder why I don't want to be with you. Every time I turn around, it's you and another woman. And he's like, girl, it's just a dance. Get over it. But it means more to her because it's just like, that's the reason why I broke up with you in the first place. Because like, it's always you and somebody else. I can't be with you because I'm going to constantly be thinking about you and another woman. So for my sanity, this is over. So she tries to leave, but in the mix of her leaving, she bumps into Stallion, who's like trying to fill her up. And Tony is crazy. Tony ain't having that. He automatically like steals on Stallion and start beating him up. But Stallion got security, so they jump in. But then you got Eden, Raheem, and Cornell. They jump in. Camarih done punch somebody in the head because it's like, y'all ain't finna jump up on my boo. So it's just like, it's mayhem at this party. But somebody was like, they called the cops. So Tony like scoops up Camarih and they go home. And they go back home. They have a conversation. And he tells her, like, yet again, the thing with Brielle, that was before you. I haven't had sex with her in a long time. It's nothing for you to think about or even be upset about. So now they're back together. So we're on Ruby. Armand actually got a modeling gig or an ad placement, and he got a check for $2,000. And you would think with Ruby footing all the bills, he would bring his money home and contribute in some way. I gotta get close to the camera. He goes to the mall with his friends and buys a $1,900 jacket. You just got a $2,000 check. And with that check, what do? You go to the mall and buy a $1,900 Balmain jacket. And when she snaps on him, he's like, I haven't bought myself anything nice in a long time. Nigga, neither have I. I've been footing the damn bills around this house, taking care of your grown ass while you sit on my couch while I'm at work. And the first thing you do when you get some money is treat yourself. And you can't seem to understand why there's something wrong with that. And I also blame Ruby too, because it's like, Ruby, you see this. You should have been out the door. I don't understand why you putting up with that at all. Ain't no reason why you footing the bills. Because, like, I can see if you say it's a partnership, we can work together. But even then, I wouldn't do that. Because, it's like, as my man, you should really be making... This is my thought. I know some women ain't going to agree with me, and that's okay. Because y'all independent, great. But if I had a partner, I want my partner to be making more than me. And I contribute to the household. Like, I'm not just... doing nothing. But it's like, as I want a provider. That's me. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about me. So it's like, ain't no way because even if you want to be a model, you can work on the side till something pops off. So it's just like, you sitting at home all day, you not contributing, you can't take meat out the freezer like I asked you to, and then you telling me that we can Uber Eats or we can, Postmates. You telling me a lot of what I can do with my money when you ain't contributing to said money and acting like, oh, it's nothing, we can do this. We can't do nothing. I can do a lot of things, but we can't do nothing. Raheem's at the mall with Phoebe, spending some money on her out of the joint bank account that he has with his wife. I told y'all I don't like Jilly, right? I don't like Raheem either. That's a lie. If you, I think I'm gonna do a review on those books as well at some point. But if you've ever read the Drayla and Ricky AK series, I forgot what it's called. What is it? Camarih. I hate him too. But I don't like Raheem. I don't like him at all. He don't have any redeeming qualities at all. And he sees Shanice at the mall trying to talk to her, but she tells him, you know, like, no, we can't have no conversation. And Phoebe walks up trying to be cute, like, what did she say? She's like, who is this? And Camarih is there with Shanice. And she's like, is everything okay? And Phoebe's like, yes, boo. I'm just trying to figure out who this is, talking to my man. And Camarih's like, I'm not your boo, so keep it cute. You know, like, keep it real cute. And don't nobody want him. Okay. So we have, oh, I forgot to mention, Eden, like, you know, he's saying it to himself that he's not in a relationship with Holly, but not actually saying it to Holly. So one night when he's having sex with another girl, she busts in and, like, cuts the girl up, and she goes to jail. I don't know how I forgot that in the last video, but yeah. So Holly's in jail, and her brother comes around Eden and tells him that he better go visit his sister in jail or he's gonna blast, which he did anyway. He blasted him on, like, Instagram, saying that he just left his sister when she went to jail all by herself. So he goes to jail to see her, and during the visit she reveals that she's pregnant, and it's just like, really? And he doesn't believe that it's his, so he really ain't paying her no attention. And so we have Ruby, who has, oh, no. He has a showcase. Eden has a showcase. And at that showcase, he invites Ruby. And she shows up, and it's like everybody's having a good time. But then she gets up and says she'll be right back. And she brings her boyfriend. And Tony clowns him like, oh, you the broke nigga who, because at one point, who was it? It was Camarih and Tony. They were back at Jamba Juice, and Ruby was there too, getting something for her boss Mark. And she asked Tony, is it okay for a man to ask his girlfriend for money? And Tony told her, like, if your man is comfortable with asking you for money, he don't really care about you. And so when she brings him to the show that night, Tony's like, oh, you the broke boy. You know. And she has another argument with Armand about money, because it's just like he doesn't seem to grasp that he needs to also input on the household, because his money is not just for him, it should be for both of them. Like, I'm not here just to take care of you while you spend your money on whatever you feel like, because you feel like it's just all about you. And so when she's done arguing with him, she leaves out to hang with the crew. And while they're hanging out, Tony and Camarih leave. Like, they go home, and she's left with Eden. So they go back to his place, and they have sex. Oh, now we're on to Raheem. Raheem, his wife and his daughter come to visit, and he has to work that night. And Amara tells him, you know, like, take me to the studio with you. I didn't come out here on vacation to base, because he wanted her to clean and cook for him. And she's like, that's not a vacation for me. I didn't come out here. Should I word it like that? Maid. I'll say maid. Because it's like, I didn't come out here to be a maid. I'm not here to cook for you and clean for you. And, you know, I came here to have a vacation and to spend time with my husband to see how he's doing. But I'm not just automatically going to jump into doing what you want me to do. And so he takes them to the studio, and he can't even play it off because everybody's surprised. Like, this is who? Your what and your what? And so they have an argument about that because, oh, you've been out here for how long and you ain't told nobody that you had a wife and a daughter? Like, it's very suspect. And she tells him, like, you need to prove to me, excuse me, that this is not what I think it is. Because if I think that you've been out here living a playboy lifestyle. So we're on to Shanice, and Paul's health is declining. Camarih meets up with her at a burger spot near the hospital where the nurse, what did I say? Kira approaches her and asks her why did she have her removed from being Paul's caretaker. And it's like, you're way too personal with my husband. And I'm not comfortable with that, and I don't want you caring for him. And why are you approaching me, asking me anything about my husband? You know, like, because it ain't like you got fired, you just got moved to another position. So this ain't your business, baby girl. Um, Ruby, her, her, her landlord tells her that the check for the rent bounced. So she has to still pay rent, and she has to now pay a late fee. And she checks her account, and this fool done charged $16.40 for some pictures. She goes to vent to Camarih, but she ends up with Eden, and she is like, she really likes him. Like, they're starting to vibe because Eden is treating her better than Armand is. It's like he don't make her pay for nothing. He's actually, like, you know, with him doing shows and getting press and all that type of stuff, he's making more money. So he's actually splurging on her. So now she knows what it's like to not have to spend all her money on just bills and taking care of somebody. Now there's somebody taking care of her, and she likes it. We have Shanice. So it's like after the thing with Kira, and basically once again Kira like throwing up in her face, you're never there for him. So, you know, why would you take me off his care? He needs somebody to be there with him. So she starts spending more time with him in the hospital. She takes off some days and she's just with him. She leaves to go home to take a bath and get some rest. But she ends up going to Raheem and them having sex. Unfortunately, she is awakened by a phone call asking her to rush down to the hospital. Paul died while she was with Raheem. And it's just like, it eats her up because it's just like, you know, they were having problems and he was getting sick, but it's just like at the time he needed her the most, she was off trying to make herself feel better. And it's just like, that sucks. So after, Camarih, after she takes flowers to Shanice, Tony tells her to come to the studio. Now, she's more pregnant. She really didn't want to go. It's just like, you could have did anything else. But anyway, he surprises her with a new BMW truck. Where am I? Oh, her products are doing well. So a small distributor has contacted her, you know, to go into business together. Ruby, she's out living a double life because Eden told her to break up with Armand, but Armand is nowhere to be found. She has called and texted him and he hasn't responded to anything. So when he finally pops back up, but he's still using the credit card that she, I guess she made him an authorized user on one of her credit cards because he was still using it. But then he pops back up with a model. He was on a modeling competition show, like I guess America's Next Top Model, basically. And it's like he pulls out 4 checks. The biggest one was $6,500, and the smallest one was $1,000. And this somehow does it for her because she doesn't break up with him right there and then. Like, they actually hug, and she doesn't know what she's gonna do. I'm like, what you mean you don't know what you're gonna do? Previous incidents was all you need to break up with him. But I was like, once again, it was something about it's money that does it for her. And I'm not calling her a gold digger at all, but it's just like, girl, it don't matter how big that check was. The way he's treated you and is treating you and basically using you, that should have been enough for you. Amara wants a separation, but she is also possibly pregnant. And he doesn't want that, but it's just like, you got Phoebe. You got Shanice. And I think he had somebody else. And it's just like, you're not focusing on your wife. You're not focusing on your daughter. You basically just out here making, is he making beats? He's a producer. So yeah. And it's just like, you doing what you want to do. Where am I? So Jilly married Vernon. That's all I gotta say. Shanice, while she's grieving, Kira shows up saying that she is pregnant with Paul's baby. Camarih, she's fired from the skincare place because the owner found out that she, instead of selling the products that they have in the spa, she was selling her own products. So the owner told her either give her 50% of her product, of her, the money she made, or get out. And Camarih's like, no, these are my products. That's my money. I'm not giving it to you. So the owner's like, get out. Tony tells her she needs to take that time and invest in herself anyway. She don't need that job no more. She got a man that's making money that'll take care of her. So just invest in yourself. So Ruby, she's still carrying on with Eden, who thinks that they're exclusive now. Like, she done dumped Armand, and they're good to go. She goes home, and when she goes home, she I guess it was like just in time for UPS because she has to sign for a big box, and Armand has bought more stuff with her credit card, and it's just like, you just have 4 different checks. I'm gonna say that basically equaled out to $10,000. Why is he still using your credit card? Come to find out, he took all that money that he made and put it on a down payment for Alexis. Once again, want to buy himself something nice instead of using that money to pay her back from the previous amounts that he's already used on the credit card, and, you know, to help pay for rent for those photos that you took. And so she tells Eden, because Eden had asked her to meet him for lunch, and she said she has some important work to do, but that was actually her meeting Armand for lunch, where she was planning to officially break up with him. But then Tony and Eden pull up, and it's like, oh, important business, huh? It looked like you still with your man. And so they pull off. Then we have, right. Phoebe has DM'd Amara, telling her about their affair. Amara wants a divorce and tells him that she will be aborting the baby. Because the only reason why she feels like he really wanted that baby because he felt like that would tie her to him even more, and she couldn't divorce him. And she said, you thought. And so while they're on the phone, you know, arguing, he yells out, Amara, you are my wife, and I am not getting a divorce. But Shanice is standing right there. So your baby sister's your wife, huh? And then we have Camarih, who once again ISIS catches her outside of the nail shop. And it's just like, girl, are you a stalker? You're basically a stalker at this point. She tells her that Prince was actually hers first. So it's like, while you thinking I slept with your man, you were actually carrying on a relationship with mine. I'm gonna talk about that in the next video. But she tells her that she actually met him 5 years ago. So she actually knew Prince a whole year before Camarih did, and had been sleeping with him ever since. That he saw Camarih and became obsessed. Camarih doesn't believe it and asks her how much did Prince pay her to lie, you know, basically so he could get back with her. And she says not as much as he paid those niggas to kill Drees. Y'all, this is getting lit. I'll see y'all again in the next one. Peace.